This is Part 2 Episode 177. Virtual Universe Yuseong Mountain Primal Region. Luo Feng sat at his desk and looked at his laptop. The screen displayed detailed information on the Primal Region Sky Mountain. It's so tough. Luo Feng muttered to himself. The guardians of the Primal Region Sky Mountain were separated into the foot of the mountain, the middle and the peak. Every level had a bullfighter, an ape-man spirit reader, and a snake illusionist all working together. The foot of the mountain was the easiest, the middle was much harder and the peak was simply absurd. One had to pass all three of them to succeed. It could be said that the intent of the Sky Mountain was never to allow anyone to pass it, hence they erected a tall untouchable standard for all. However, there were bound to be some monster-like geniuses in humanity. Like some 1 in 10 million eras absolute geniuses that have passed it. Can I pass it now? Luo Feng muttered to himself. According to the Nanshan 7 Forms Manual, once I complete the first scale form, I should have law comprehension akin to the 15th level of the Heavenly Bridge. So I should be able to hit the 16th level. The moment I use the Beast God Presence, my strength might rise even more. Luo Feng thought. This was in theory a true battle that had many more factors. Like mental state, self-control etc., this was a group attack from a fighter, spirit reader and illusionist. As long as one was somewhat affected by the illusionist, he could easily be killed off by the others. After looking through the data of the Primal Region Sky Mountain, Luo Feng began to search for information on the Sector Lord resource rewards. I had heard that the rewards for Primal Region Sector Lords would be shocking. All of the geniuses give it their all for this specific reward. Luo Feng smiled. I didn't know it'd be this shocking. Large amounts of data immediately appeared on the screen. Higher authority sure is different. Luo Feng was satisfied. Before becoming a disciple of the Primal Chaos City leader, when he searched for this, it had been completely blank. Right now, however, it displayed a large amount of information. Barbata shouted out in shock, that's absurd. Yes it is. Luo Feng took a deep breath, pointing and tapping the screen, opening a file. Sector Lord, this is the most important training period. The way the Virtual Universe Company nurtures its geniuses, at universe level, they are simply doing some training and living within the secret regions. At Domain Lord level, they are given some missions and a guard team. It's still overall very safe without any dangers. However, it takes trials and tribulations for true growth. An absolute warrior has to be molded by the many wars and battles. Hence the Primal Region Universe and Domain Lord levels don't get much rewards. The true rewards come at the Primal Region Sector Lord level. They are as such. After becoming a Primal Region Sector Lord and taking part in the first qualification battle, ranking first will give out 1 billion points reward. Ranking 2 ND, 10th will have a 300 million points reward. Ranking 11th, 100th, will have a 100 million point reward. Of course, these rewards are only there for the first participation, the second, 3 road, 10th, even the 100th will not have any rewards. As for what the Sector Lords need to buy, they can use the points to exchange for them. Smart enough. Every Sector Lord needs different manuals and treasures etc., hence they simply give points. Luo Feng thought. That's very generous, however it's very hard to get the high points too. As everybody's first qualification battles would be when they had just broken through, they would be newbies in the Primal Region Sector Lord level. Compared to the seniors, ranking first and getting 1 billion points, that's tough. Extremely tough. The ones that get 300 million points would probably be very few. 100 million would be the majority. Luo Feng thought. The points were very valuable. As the Virtual Universe Company treasure trove had many treasures that had to be exchanged for with points, even the powerful Truyang Emperor, he had used points to exchange for the first half of the Nanshan 7 forms for Luo Feng. And later on, their buying power would get even stronger. Like the life fruit or Nanshan armament along with other cheap things, it wasn't actually worth it to exchange for them with points. Items priced at 1 mixed element may require 10 points. However, as the items get more and more expensive, the points begin to display their advantage. Like the flame void gold, if it were to auctioned at 1.5 to 2 million mixed elements, with Luo Feng's current authority, he could get a huge discount when using his points to exchange for it. Using only 500,000 points to exchange for the flame void gold. At this time, the buying power of 1 point was even more than one mixed element. And there were many items that couldn't be bought with money, hence many undyings would rather exchange their money into manuals and treasures and so on. 100 million points, its buying power exceeds 100 million mixed elements. Luo Feng thought. And an official level undying's wealth is mostly only around 10 million mixed elements. Every primal region sector lord. The moment they become undying, even the weakest usually become official level undyings, and they'd definitely be the more wealthy ones amongst the official level undyings. Luo Feng thought. Of course. The points were there to be spent. These points were given for free by the Virtual Universe Company for the primal region sector lords to use, for them maximize their growth. After all, with 100 sector lords in the primal region, it only added up to over 10 billion points, or so. The Virtual Universe Company could easily afford this. It was only because primal region sector lords would constantly be produced, hence they limited the distribution. Luo Feng continued to look at the information on the sector lord rewards. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. The Virtual Universe Company gave extra incentives. 1. After passing the universe level primal region Sky Mountain, one would get 100 million points when he reached sector lord level. 2. After passing the domain lord level primal region Sky Mountain, one would get 3 billion points when he reached sector lord level. 3. After passing the sector lord level primal region Sky Mountain, one would immediately get 100 billion points. My God. Brutal. Luo Feng took a deep breath. This was a huge amount. Wow, that's generous. Barbata cheered on his shoulder. That's normal though. How tough is it to pass the primal region Sky Mountain? Normally, only a rare genius of 10 million eras can do it. Naturally they'll give more points to these geniuses. This setup is probably because they are worried that the geniuses would start out strong and weaken and fall later. Hence, they give higher rewards later on. Luo Feng nodded. To succeed in the sector Lord Primal Region Sky Mountain, that required the ability to pass the 20th level of the Heavenly Bridge. This was only one level away from becoming a knight. The moment such a sector lord broke through to undying, he would probably immediately reach True Yang Emperor's level. His chances of becoming a knight would be very high too. Hence, giving 100 billion points to nurture him would be normal. Luo Feng laid back and lay on his study sofa, lifting a cup of wine. Talent, resources, character, encounters, one cannot lack any of these to become an absolute warrior amongst the trillions of races. Luo Feng sighed. The Virtual Universe Company does work hard to nurture the future warriors. The highest rewards were in the Sky Mountain. Because this was something usually only a genius of 10 million eras could attempt. To the large majority of geniuses, this wasn't realistic to them at all. Primal region sector lords, their rewards were high too. This was more realistic, as it was the goal of countless geniuses. As for the sector lords of the absolute beginning and sky and land regions, they too would get rewards in their first qualification battles, but it was much lower. Let's check what deities of the world level 2 requires. Luo Feng thought. Deities of the world, this was a very heavenly technique. It could multiply one's strength. However, the resources needed for this technique was simply too harsh, and the price was absurd. Having a higher authority sure helps. There were many treasures I couldn't even search for in the past, now I can find them all. Luo Feng was happy. With his higher authority, the treasure trove was much more detailed than before. He easily found the materials he required for deities of the world level 2. However, calculating the points. My God. Luo Feng took a deep breath. Let's attempt the primal region Sky Mountain. There was no choice, he was just too poor. Even after he became sector lord level, he would only get 50 million mixed elements in cash. Nurturing his cloud contact vine and star-eating plants was like feeding a bottomless pit. The most absurd one was still deities of the world. Just a Khan Luo Sai feather alone was priced at 12 million points in the treasure trove. There were even more expensive items required. Whatever he couldn't find before, they were all there now. However, their prices were even more ridiculous than the Khan Luo Sai feather. To actually complete this second level, the amount of points required would exceed over 10 billion points. As for the third level, he didn't even dare think about it. With his authority, he could still only find 3 ingredients he required for it. Everything else was still hidden. It was no wonder. Those amongst the Golden Horned Beast sector lords, hardly any one of them had ever finished the second level. How could the solitary Golden Horned Beasts have more treasures than humanity? The amount of treasures the Virtual Universe Company had collected was naturally incredibly shocking. However, these were from countless absolute warriors risking their lives to acquire these. After passing the primal region Sky Mountain, I'll get 3 billion points. Luo Feng thought. With this 3 billion points, my power will rise greatly. Luo Feng instantly vanished from his study. In the center space of the Sky Mountain area, there stood 3 majestic mountains amidst the vast land, and on them glowed bright gold words, Sky and Land, Absolute Beginning, and Primal Region, of which the Primal Region Sky Mountain was obviously the highest. Luo Feng appeared on the land itself, swiftly flying towards the Primal Region Sky Mountain. He landed on the foot of the mountain, and looked up at the mountain that stretched through the clouds, after which he looked down at the not too distant foot of the mountain. There lay a huge stone-like oxman sleeping on the ground, beside him lay a dark purple huge axe. It felt like it was formed from countless bloodshed, and it made one tremble within. Wake up, Oxman, get the ape man and the snake lady out. I want to attempt the Sky Mountain. Luo Feng shouted. The oxman that was deeply asleep suddenly climbed up, blinking his eyes as he looked about. He saw Luo Feng. You want to attempt the Primal Region's Sky Mountain? Luo Feng nodded. The oxman stared at him, immediately howling, there's someone here to attempt the Primal Region's Sky Mountain. 2 beams of light flew over. It was the ape-man spirit reader, and snake lady illusionist. The 3 guardians gathered at the foot of the mountain, quickly acquiring Luo Feng's information. Luo Feng. You've passed the Heavenly Bridge's 13th level. The snake lady smiled enticingly. Your Majesty Luo Feng, your strength is far from enough. Cut the crap. The dark golden long rod on Luo Feng's back immediately split into 10,081 little golden blades. The blur of gold lights immediately began to interweave perfectly, forming a 3.3 meter long dark golden blade. This was the most perfect 9th form of the Nan Shan armament, a match against Undying. The battle started immediately. He killed from the foot of the mountain up to the middle level, successful in both levels. Luo Feng stood on the dark cloud shuttle and flew through the Primal Region Mountain's path that stretched into the clouds. After flying for a while, he finally reached the peak. The clouds engulfed the entire peak. The ox was lying and snoring thunderously there. The ape-man was happily drinking at a large vat of wine, and the snake lady was swimming in the water. When Luo Feng landed on the peak, the 3 of them simultaneously opened their eyes and gazed at him. The peak, this was the final level and the toughest. How many years has it been? The snake lady sighed in the water. She slowly swam out of the water, putting on a silk robe. Even though she was a snake lady, her upper half revealed a little through the robe. She could easily seduce men from all over. Yes, it's been too long. A low voice resounded from the ox-man. Since the 3 of us have been created, it's been a million eras since we've been challenged. The ape-man stood up. Luo Feng was shocked as he heard. Created. After which he understood, these should be AIs created by the virtual universe system. One had to know that their system was heavenly. They were able to imitate the laws in places like the slaughterhouse, even creating any sort of opponent one requested. Hence, to create the Guardians of the Sky and Land, Absolute Beginning and Primal Region Sky Mountains, this was just a small feat for them. The only thing was that they lived for so long. Some had already become living AIs, ones who were able to feel emotions. Luo Feng. The snake lady looked at Luo Feng. Her voice was gentle and enticing. Even though I really wish to chat with you, we have to do our mission and fight with all our strength. Me too. Luo Feng said softly. Rumble. The dark golden long rod on his back immediately dispersed and became a golden long blade. At the same time, scales appeared throughout his body, and he instantly became a human form beast god. Unleashing this move meant that he had only completed the first level. It wasn't too strong yet. Seems not bad. The snake lady smiled. With her smile, Luo Feng was thrown into an illusion. An arc light shot out from behind the skinny ape-man and slashed at Luo Feng's neck, and was about to chop off his head. Break. Luo Feng's gaze was like lightning as he roared, instantly breaking through the illusion. The gold-long blade's instantaneous speed had reached an extreme level. It howled like a beast and was incredibly powerful, instantly tearing through space and crashing into that arc light. As they clashed, both the Nanshan armament and the arc blade was knocked far away. I've already unleashed my spirit energy amplitude, combined with the first level's scale form infused in my Nanshan armament, yet my power is still only equal to the ape-man's. Luo Feng's expression changed as he roared. He immediately rushed straight at the Ox-man. As he targeted the Ox-man, he controlled his Nanshan armament to distract the ape-man. As for the snake woman, Luo Feng didn't care about her at all. He was confident in his ability to withstand the illusions. The Ox-man laughed, rushing straight at Luo Feng. Every step he took shook the entire ground. He wielded his huge bloodthirsty axe and lifted it high up. The space around it instantly shook, and the image of a huge axe projected throughout. With just his roar, the space was instantly torn apart. Domain Lord level 9 strength, it could easily tear through space. Good. The beast god form Luo Feng waved his right hand. Break. Luo Feng's slash through the sky was almost like a big slap. A claw appeared and a projection of a blurry beast god claw emerged. This claw hit right at the huge axe. With a clash, the axe was knocked sideways. The Ox-man immediately adapted, changing his vertical slice to that of a side one. Luo Feng, however, was as fast as lightning. After slashing with his claw once, he immediately rushed forwards, both hands facing the huge axe and clawing at it fiercely. Sky-tearing claw. Luo Feng unleashed everything for the first time. This claw was incomparably brutal. The moment he clawed, 5 tiers in space immediately appeared, and his attack tore through the Ox-man's chest armor. His terrifying attack destroyed his insides, easily destroying his life core. The Ox-man was dead. Just 2 left now. Luo Feng turned immediately after tearing through the Ox-man, and looked around before flashing forward like a beast. Actually, the moment the Ox-man was killed, this battle had already been decided. I've succeeded. Luo Feng stood at the peak, looking at the 3 bodies amidst the clouds, after which, their injuries vanished and they regenerated. All 3 of them stood up. Congratulations, Luo Feng. Congratulations on passing the primal sky mountain. The 3 guardians smiled at Luo Feng. The snake woman couldn't help but ask, Luo Feng, how come my illusions didn't even work on you? They aren't strong enough. Luo Feng smiled. 900 years of training in Primal Chaos City, along with long periods of solitude, this was very good training for his mental state. Over these 900 years, Luo Feng's willpower had improved a lot. Even though knowing oneself was still only the first level in mental states, once it's trained beyond its limits, it could still continue to get stronger. Luo Feng's willpower was extremely sturdy. How could her illusions affect him? Primal Chaos City, on a particular balcony amidst others. Luo Feng sat crossed-legged. I've succeeded. Luo Feng opened his eyes filled with glee. I've passed the primal region's sky mountain. This way, the moment I reach Sector Lord, I'll receive a huge reward. With that, my strength will reach a new level again. I'll have a better chance in the life or death trials ahead. The Primal Chaos City leader teacher also told me to look for him when I reach Sector Lord level. Then, I'll break through to Sector Lord level right away. Luo Feng closed his eyes. At the same time, The virtual universe's Thunder Island was bustling. The management-level members had all come to know of a piece of news. Luo Feng had passed the primal region Sky Mountain. It's been so long, there's finally someone from our humanity's later generation that has passed the Sky Mountain, and it's the Domain Lord level Sky Mountain. A tall and skinny green armored man with compound eyes sat there. He lifted a glass of wine and sipped, as he complimented. This Luo Feng is indeed one favored by the primal chaos city leader, since his capabilities are extraordinary. Another man in a silver robe, bald head, and with green engravings on his face smiled and shot a glance over. These were 3 knights chatting. The 3 of them were all the management-level elders of the Virtual Universe Company. Luo Feng's highest point mission from before was judged by these 3. Humph! A short messy green-haired man snorted coldly. This Luo Feng is extremely bloodthirsty and selfish. What's the point of being strong? He may be a calamity in the future. From what I see, we should restrict him as early as possible, stopping his growth. The 2 of us don't dare to do so. The compound eyes man mocked. That's the disciple of the primal chaos city leader, the strongest in the Virtual Universe Company. With his control, I have to say, Bo Sai Wa, you sure got some guts to think about restricting his disciple. The short man's expression grew ugly. Beside him, the silver-robed bald man suddenly laughed. Right. I remember that the moment someone passed the Domain Lord Primal Region Sky Mountain, when he becomes a Sector Lord, he'll receive 3 billion points in rewards. There is such a thing. The compound eyes man nodded. 3 billion points, this Luo Feng improved so fast before without much resources. When he becomes Sector Lord, buying his treasures with these 3 billion points, also with the Primal Chaos City Leader's instructions, he'll soar. He'll become an absolute being just like Kudai back then. The silver-robed bald man complimented. The compound-eyed man and the silver-robed man chatted together. It made the other short one unhappy. They couldn't be blamed for taunting him. The main thing was during Luo Feng's highest point mission's 4th level, the 3 were in conflict. Both of them thought that being a little selfish was very normal. It would be weird if he wasn't, and Luo Feng was very fair towards all the other members. They wanted to give him 90 to 100% completion, and a higher extra bonus after. This Bo Sai Wa, however, didn't agree. He thought Luo Feng was very selfish. He didn't even question his father. Obviously he didn't care about the Virtual Universe Company. If such a person was nurtured, maybe it will lead to a calamity in the future. In conflict. Hence the final decision. The points weren't high or too low. Just wait, I've said it, he could very likely be a calamity. The short man said. Ah? The other 2 just laughed. During their chat, they all received a bit of news. The number of Primal Region Sector Lords had risen from 100 to 101. There was a new Primal Region Sector Lord, Luo Feng. Luo Feng has become a Sector Lord. The compound eyes man and the silver-robed man both laughed. The short man, however, simply looked on coldly. The level of secrecy regarding the Primal Region members of the Virtual Universe Company wasn't considered too high. When Luo Feng became a Sector Lord and was confirmed by the Virtual Universe Network system, it automatically increased his status, thus becoming a Primal Region Sector Lord. The moment that happened, the name list changed and many undyings and absolute beings naturally found out about it. Luo Feng walked towards the city leader's mansion, and saw many undyings looking at him. That's Luo Feng. He's already a Primal Region Sector Lord. I heard that is already past the Domain Lord Primal Region Sky Mountain. Where'd you get that news? The Sky Mountain results aren't public. I heard only the knights will know of such things. I just heard. There were many undyings discussing softly along the way. It was obvious that within the past 1,000 years, Luo Feng had become a reputed genius within Primal Chaos City. Hence, almost all the warriors knew him. Luo Feng entered the city leader's residence amidst the discussions, stepping into the Primal Chaos Ruins yard. Time and space warped. Amidst the vast ruins, trillions of bodies could be seen about. Luo Feng walked through the land and saw a silhouette sitting cross-legged in the distance. Teacher. Luo Feng stood there and bowed respectfully. The city leader got up, his snake tail swept as he looked at Luo Feng. This made Luo Feng shocked within. I've been visiting him for so many years in the virtual universe. My teacher in the virtual universe, the pressure and energy I feel from him is completely different compared to real life. The Primal Chaos City leader had 3 bodies, Luo Feng knew that this was one of them. You were finally willing to break through to Sector Lord level. The city leader's eyes seemed to smile at him. Luo Feng was stunned. Finally willing. From Domain Lord level 9 to Sector Lord, one would usually meet with a barrier. It wasn't an easy thing to break through. However, his teacher's tone. When did you possess the golden horned beast's body? Was it back when your home Earth was attacked by one? The city leader asked casually. Luo Feng stared wide-eyed. My God. Possess the golden horned beast. This. He had kept this secret extremely well, not ever disclosing it. How? You little punk. The city leader laughed loudly. Do you think you could hide that from me? Teacher. Luo Feng was very nervous. Don't worry, it's no big deal. The city leader shook his head and laughed. The main foundation of a flesh and blood life form is the soul. No matter what you possess, or what body you get, your soul never changes, it's still a human soul. Naturally, you'd still be part of humanity. Luo Feng let out a sigh or relief within. That was right, there were many possession techniques. Someone at Star Traveler level, or Star level, even those could use them. There were many that would possess others and try again, if they weren't satisfied with the first, just like his teacher, Hu Yangbo had done so before. There were many warriors in the universe that possessed others to decrease the limits of their lower bloodlines. Hence, possession wasn't something that was degrading. The soul was the core. One that possessed a golden horned beast still possessed a human soul, naturally he was still human. Ha, don't be fooled by appearances. If one's appearance is human, but their body has already been possessed by the other races, his soul would be that of theirs. Then, he would be from the other race. The city leader smiled. Being able to possess a golden horned beast's body is your own skill. If you can possess a stronger life form, that would be even better, the only worry is if you fail. Luo Feng finally calmed down within. He had been worried before, because Hu Yangbo had at most possessed another human. As for him, he had possessed another race altogether. The moment it was revealed, if he was marked as another race, that would mean big trouble. He didn't dare gamble. Hence he had been hiding this fact. From the looks of it, the upper echelon of humanity seemed pretty open about it. Teacher, how did you find out? Luo Feng couldn't help but ask. Every batch of geniuses absorbed, whether they are from the genius competitions, or absorbed members for the 5 Leviathans, they all come to Primal Chaos City once. The city leader laughed. When you first came here, one reason was for you to pick your Primal Chaos tablet, the second was to determine if there were any other race spies within. If we nurture you and you turn out to be from another race, that would be a joke. Within Primal Chaos City, I can instantly check through all of you. The city leader said, I immediately saw the core within your body then. Luo Feng was shocked. Right? How could humanity not check through the geniuses and spend resources on them? And the Primal Chaos City leader, as one of the most pinnacle beings of humanity, was definitely one of the top 3 powers of humanity. He naturally could easily see through a person and his soul. Then, Luo Feng couldn't help but say, since you know I possessed a golden horned beast, and that it was at Sector Lord level, why'd you let me carry on as a Domain Lord level member? Even though I know about it, it doesn't mean others do. The city leader smiled indifferently. Luo Feng blinked. My job is to make sure you aren't a spy of the other race. The city leader exclaimed, there are many encounters in the universe. Your possession of the golden horned beast doesn't mean anything in the vast universe. As long as I can make sure you are human, that's enough. As for the management people not finding out and still taking you as a universe level, as a domain lord, I can't be bothered with it. Luo Feng nodded. Right? The city leader, He was the biggest boss of the virtual universe company. What level was that? Why would he bother about such matters? If you could find out, how could the others not? Luo Feng asked curiously. I control the time and space here. The city leader smiled. In this space, I can easily scan everything. Those knights, they may have comprehended space or time. They haven't reached my level, unless they purposely send a piece of God energy into your body to check. They would never be able to discover you possessed a golden horned beast. Luo Feng realized. The universe master controlled both time and space. He was naturally much more powerful than a knight. It was a good thing you came here when you were weak. The city leader said, if you had come here for the first time, when you were undying, I may have mistaken you to be a spy of the space beasts. Luo Feng was stunned. The moment one becomes undying, his soul would begin to meld with the body, every bit of spirit imprint fusing with your cells. The city leader smiled. When that happens, every cell is a part of your soul, as there's no clear soul itself, only the most basic spirit imprints about, and the imprint of every life that has a soul is different. There wouldn't be a way for me to determine if your soul imprint was that of human or not. Hence, I would suspect you to be a spy for the other race. The city leader smiled. Luo Feng nodded. Right, when a normal human reaches Sector Lord, his soul would gather. At Domain Lord level, it was a soul crystal. Sector Lord it became a pearl, completely condensed within. Naturally the city leader would be able to see if one was a human soul or not. However, after one became undying, the soul would crumble and disperse, melding into every cell. It wouldn't be possible to see the soul clearly anymore, as the soul had already become part of the undying body. If that was the case, wouldn't you be unable to determine if some undyings are spies if they come here for the first time? Luo Feng asked. Right? The city leader nodded. There's no way to. Hence, every undying that comes here for the first time are all suspects. They would be placed under supervision. After hearing this, Luo Feng felt that the security around humanity's sacred land, Primal Chaos City Shore, was strict. His teacher had probably only told him about one level of security. There should be others. He had always thought his possession of the golden horned beast was a secret. He didn't expect the city leader to know of it. Only back then, he was too lazy to bother about this little punk. Possessing a golden horned beast, amongst the trillions of races in the universe, it's only considered an above-average encounter. The city leader smiled. The only good point is you get its natural bloodline ability of cloning. Picking good clones is extremely important. How many do you have now? 2. Luo Feng said respectfully. Looks like there's only one left. The city leader nodded. Let me advise you. Luo Feng listened hard. The universe is fair. This natural ability is not limitless. The leader emphasized, from what I know, there are some very mysterious and terrifying life forms in the universe. Some of them are even completely unique. Even at Sector Lord level, your golden horned beast's internal world cannot produce such a life form. The internal world of the beast can at most produce one that's 10 to 100 times stronger than itself. If it were to produce such a life form, it wouldn't be too realistic. Of course, the golden horned beast itself has an exquisite bloodline. Hence almost all the Sector Lord life forms of the universe are viable, only very few life forms are exceptions. Secondly, if you pick a powerful being close to your internal world's limit, at 100 times stronger than your golden horned beast, you'd definitely be able to produce it, yes. However, the universe is fair. If your clone is too heavenly, your growth will meet with some obstructions. Luo Feng was shocked. Obstructions? Right? The city leader nodded. If your clone is too strong, there would be some difficulties along the way. Good luck and misfortune are interdependent. He smiled. This is the fairness of the universe. Even though there would be obstructions, the moment you break through them, you will have a much greater power. Part 2 end here.